All right, everybody, we are now live.
We are? Oh, that means I actually have to focus now. Jeez. Thanks, guys. So ready to start whenever?
Yep, feel free to introduce yourself or count down when you're ready.
Alright, I'm Roach788. Just gonna go hop right in and start explaining as we go because there will be, in the beginning, a lot to explain. So I'll be going in 3, 2, 1, starting. Alright, I said I'm Roach788. This is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Warped Any Percent. It's Crash 3 in the trilogy. So you just saw 1 and 2, now we get to play 3 with some updated graphics. As for, it's released on all platforms, you know, PC, Xbox One, Switch, etc., PS4. And I just missed a little bit of movement tech in the beginning that saves a second, which you'll see in the beginning. But for timing, we do loadless. We remove loads and screen transitions, which we have an awesome programmer be able to develop that for us. But the movement tech I missed in the beginning, you'll see right here. We call it the landing slide spin. Basically, you never let the game register that you are in the middle of falling because you're always in a spin or a slide. So it actually maintains your falling speed while you're sliding. Now you do have to chain this on PC version because at 60 frames per second it does far more consistent than the other versions, but it is very easily enough with practice to be able to contain this consistency on other versions. But with PC, it's just faster. It's more consistent. And that's the first level already, Dirt Village. Also, right in the beginning of the run, we did pick up Coco because we do have to switch to her through a few through the levels. And and one thing I like about Warp 1 in this game is that there's a large difference in levels. Like that was your standard, like, you know, opening Crash level. While here, we're going backwards like the bear levels in Crash 2, but we're being chased by a giant dinosaur. So, you know, and then you'll see each of the levels is like shows you all the different controls and different things you can do in Crash 3. It's not just playing as Crash. Coco will actually get her time to shine later. Then we abandon her because we hate her in the run. I'll get more into that later. As you can see right now, it's like for this technique, this movement tech, we have to have an object that is of at least a certain height for us to go off of. We can't just do it off solid ground. But off stacks of 3 boxes, it is possible to hit your head on that third box to get off of it, like I just managed to do right there. And also, it likes to get stuck in some spots and make you drop it randomly. But, yeah. I said these levels go by pretty quickly. And there's some more about certain things I'll be able to explain as we get to them.
Do I have time for a donation really quick?
Yeah, give me just like 30 seconds in this level, then you'll have like a full minute.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is the first Coco level. What you saw me do as we're entering the level is right as the level's loading in, I hit the button to switch between the 2 characters. It's called Quick Switch. It saves about 3 seconds of watching the movement, the switching animation. And as for this level, it's very straightforward. Just get from point A to point B. Coco's max speed is higher when she's turning, so that's why we're doing this little wiggling zigzag motion. And other than that, this level is, yeah, boring, and go ahead with donations all you want.
So, huge shout out here to Fiend, who just donated $65 and said, I love red pandas too much to not help him out. And he put that towards getting the red Yoshi in the Yoshi's Island run. So that is currently the color that is ahead. So thank you so much for that donation.
Blue Yoshi's the best Yoshi, guys. Like I said, this is a very...
Blue Yoshi doesn't have a single donation.
disappointing. My God, you guys have to get on that. Get the Blue Yoshi some donations. But as I said, very simple, straightforward level. No cycles we need to worry about. Nothing really. It's just get through it. It's a little bit of a break right at the beginning, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, it's a nice little boring level. There's a small glitch I'm going to go into, attempt to do in this next level. It's a purely graphical glitch. It's very inconsistent, so I'm hoping I can get it to show it off. But this is first of the Pura levels here, where we're riding a little tiger on the Great Wall of China. Again, it's just hold in square to keep max speed. Got a couple attempts to try and get this glitch. Nope, didn't get it, sadly. But what the glitch is that I was attempting to do is it actually keeps Purr in like that falling animation, so you're just like hovering over the level. It's really funny and hilarious to look at. Again, Coco levels are pretty straightforward and boring with not really much to talk about. I'm just literally holding square to keep max speed and X to jump over obstacles. Not too much in this level. Except right here at the end, you actually want to go a little to the right, then hold left. It actually angles Pura a little bit, so you can just go straight forward and not get stuck on the butt of Pura right there. And the next level is another crash level. Well, most levels are crash levels, but this is where we are now underwater with a scuba tank. The cycles in this level changed. The PC release, when it was also released on like Xbox One and Switch and all, it actually changed the cycles in some levels. So there's actually an earlier cycle we're able to catch now for the speed run. It is a little tight, but here I'm basically just matching square and X. You know, it spins and kicks you, which increases your movement speed. I'm just trying to get through these cycles as fast as I can without trying to get caught on anything, just so I can try and get this cycle ahead. The spinning fan blades that I passed through, like one right in the beginning, and these two I'm coming up on right now, I just barely missed it. I was a little slow in the beginning. Looks like it's possible to get through there, so you don't have to wait right there. And I got stuck turning around for some reason. Whatever. Got through this. Alright, now the biggest change that came with the DLC level and everything is we are now skipping a boss. There's a very lot to explain on this, and I'll be explaining it going into the next level. We're not fighting Tiny, so I'm sorry if anyone likes the Tiny fight. We're basically doing menu storage. We're interacting with the Coco's laptop here and sliding away on the same frame to get a hidden menu interaction. So it's a menu storage. Hopping up here with Coco, sliding down, opening up this menu, save load menu to fix our menu screen, sliding off right into the next loading screen. Hopefully everyone caught everything I was saying there. So as I said, we interacted with it to slide away at the same time, which gave us a bugged invisible menu storage. So we were switching being able to control where the game thinks we have Coco and we do not. But when we hopped onto the little teleportation pad there to take us into where the DLC level is, it changed our menu storage. So it locked us out of it because it's riding on the platform. So we opened up the save and quit screen, which hitting down X there actually sets it to the game thinking we have Coco again. So when I exit out of it, it allows me to actually character switch in midair, which the game doesn't know what to do now. So we can slide off the platform and go about it, where Coco can go out of bounds. Because the game's not sure if we have Coco or we don't. So hitting any buttons really causes her to immediately switch to crash. And because the game doesn't think we have her, so we can walk through walls with her. So yeah, we skipped the first boss fight, and it said there was a lot going on in that little thing. Little time. And anyone who's played this game as a kid will... I was a little early on that quick switch. As you saw right there, I had to sit through the switch animation. Everyone probably remembers these good old motorcycle levels. The objective is to try and maintain the wheelie from a speed boost as long as you can. And if you have any more donations, go right ahead. If not right here, I'm trying to thread this needle right here to get through there to maintain my speed boost, which takes actually quite a bit of practice to get that. And try and maintain this towards the end. I said there's a lot to explain in the beginning of this game, but as we get through it, it's more going to be just talking about cycles. While at the beginning, I'm just trying to get through all the different type of movement tag and the different level types.
There aren't any more donations right now, but I would like to say that there's only the rest of this run and then one more game before Yoshi's Island comes up, and the race is pretty close, so if there are any last-minute surprises for color changes, now would be the time.
So Blue Yoshi's got to win, guys. Don't let me down. Anyone who's watching to support me, donate towards that Blue Yoshi. Again, this is another one of those levels where we're using the landing slide spins to basically go through the level far quicker than the game has intended. So kind of basically riding on the rails, get over holes. This like one of the trickiest spots right there is getting to the side of that hole. There's that little bit of a ledge right there that you can slide on it. You actually got to be careful around these frogs with these nitros. They like to suicide in the nitros, and if you end up being right next to them when they decide to, you can actually get hit by it. Alright, and that's the 6th level of the game. Or, well, what they want you to have the 6th level be. Alright. This next level, Tomb Time, is it's very important to get good movement in the beginning, because all the cycles are set when you load into a level. It's like they start moving the moment you load in. So there's one cycle around the middle of the level. It's a moving platform that goes back and forth. I'm trying to catch it as soon as it is basically as close as possible to me. But you need almost perfect movement to get that. The farther it is, the harder it is to make the jump. And there are times, like if it's at its peak, you basically need a perfect jump in order to be able to do it. Which might be a decent time to explain all the different jumps, because you've heard some of them from the other Crash games. You have the glitch low jump, you have a standard jump, a slide jump, a glitch high jump, a glitch double jump, a glitch high glitch double jump. You would never think a game like this would, for having only really 3 buttons and the D-pad, to have so many different options. We'll get there soon, Merkaz. Don't spoil the fun already. But yeah. See, alright. And this run is also very heavy on mask management after you leave Warp 1. Like, I went through levels, like, motorcycle levels take your masks away from you. Motorcycle and plane levels take your mask away from you. So we try and route that in to maximize our mask for the other levels. Like for 7 is very important to have 3 mask form in this level, because you move so much faster on the handrails, as you saw on Crash 2. That does carry over even into this game. And again, I'm trying to hit a very specific cycle right at the end of the level when the enemy is walking away from me. Because if he's walking towards me, there's a very high chance I will get hit. As you can see, you move so much faster on that. Now I'm just slowly grabbing. So we don't like going slow, so we just skip a little small section of it. It looks like I should be good on this cycle. I could tell from that enemy placement. Yep, still walking away. Said if you're a little slow and he's walking towards you, there's a good chance you're going to end up getting hit. Overall, that was actually a gold split. I'll take that. Says also one thing I forgot to mention, which right there, how Crash spit up the gem, that actually loses a third of a second. Both Crash and Coco have 3 animations to throw the crystals up into the air. And Crash has one that costs a third of a second. Coco has one that costs basically a second. Also, we don't do any balls except for I got hit there. It's bad. We don't like doing any bosses the intended way. As you saw, I had to wait a little bit before I jumped in. He has a small level in vulnerability frames. And now for killing Dingodile, we get the double jump. So we can have a little more fun. But as I was saying from the crystal animations, because Coco has that one that costs about almost 0.8 seconds, you know, it's just, we try not to use her because even though it's 1 in 3, that's just like almost a full second you're losing every time she decides to give you that bad animation. This level is faster with 3 mass form, but since I stupidly got hit in a Dingodile, we gotta improvise. Also, that's our friend Baby T right there. Unfortunately, Baby T is slow compared to the landing slide spin, so I'm sorry Baby T, but we are abandoning you. Don't worry, it's like if we did pick him up, we would actually intentionally suicide him into this lava. So we're actually doing him a favor by not grabbing him. Oh, and the game can, not like you, Nitros. They can bounce up in the air completely randomly. And if they can hit you if they decide to. They can jump all the way up to the maximum height that they can and hit you, and there's nothing you can do about it. See, it's one of those, it's a small little RNG element. Thankfully, it does not happen often. Actually, I prefer calling him PD over Baby T, but that's personal preference. And this level, for people who are learning the run, Deep Trouble is the bane of their existence. It is one of the hardest levels to learn when starting to speedrun this game. Like every level, it's extremely cycle-based, but it's extremely tight cycles, and I'm actually going for a even harder one than most people go for. It only saves about a second, but hey, let's go for it. I'm intentionally waiting a little bit right there, because I will be too fast for a cycle ahead otherwise. So I could actually get hit by that little whirlpool jet stream thing right there if I'm too fast. Getting hit there is actually quite bad. Again, anytime you... I could have made it, but I don't want to risk losing the mask. It's only about 2-3 second difference, so it wasn't worth the risk. Alright, I will gladly take that. Yeah, so that is by far the hardest level to learn for beginning and speedrunning. Even there, just because I missed that one cycle, I lost actually 4 seconds compared to my personal best. And now for another lovely motorcycle level. This is actually the hardest of the 3 motorcycle levels in the run. By far the hardest casually to win. Even as, like, any small mistake, like, you could just fall into an accident pit, hit into the back of one of the cop cars, slightly go off-road like that, which loses all your speed. It can all make you lose this race. And unfortunately, if you lose one of these races, you have to leave the level and re-enter it. You can't just retry, just fall in a hole, die, and go back. No, you actually have to either finish it or go into the menu and leave the level. So yeah, hope things go well in this so we don't waste 2.5 minutes.
Do I have time to read a donation?
Go right ahead.
Alrighty. Joe Eagle donates $6 and says, "Let's go DL Blue Team, PogChamp." And he put that towards the cyan color for the Yoshis, putting at $1 above red right now.
Cyan is acceptable.
So if we want red, someone's got to donate $2 to get that in. Or if you were a fan of yellow or green, you've got your work cut out for you.
Boo red. Don't go for the red. See, this level was going pretty good overall. I turned a little late at this end, so I ended up going on the off-road. I almost went into the hole right there, which would have been bad because I would have probably lost the race and ripped my estimate. But on that, that's it. We're good. We're through the level. And now is when the run actually starts to get difficult. Everything is easy and you don't need to worry about it really too much. Now you're risking death in every single little movement you do. Outside of a few small levels that are a nice relaxing break. Because sometimes you need that. Again, like always, it's all about cycles. I'm trying to move in a very set specific way here to move as fast as possible. Just to be able to catch a specific carpet cycle near the end. Should still be fine. I'm a little behind though. Nope, never mind. I honestly have no idea what cycles are going to be now. I've never practiced death cycles. So once you die, all the cycles in the level change to what's known as death cycles. And I've never practiced them. And I somehow missed that checkpoint. So I'm not going to go for the risky, scary jump right here, which looks like we would have been fine. These scorpions are terrible. They have the worst hitbox in the game. Basically, unless they are heading towards you, you cannot hit them. I'm just going to play it safe now and wait, since I've already wasted so much time. I was trying to get to a carpet cycle here, so the carpet would have been about right here as I got to it, so I could have immediately gone straight through. Those scorpions, though, as I said, have by far the worst hitbox in this game. Second being those electric crab spider things that you saw in Crash 2. I think they might actually be slightly worse. Yeah. Sad face. Something bad was bound to happen in this run. It's a crash game. Something bad always goes wrong. Alright, and unfortunately, this will be the last level where you'll have the landing slide spin tech, so we won't be able to slide super crazy fast anymore. So enjoy it for the last time as we hopefully not fall randomly into a pit. Or run into a nitro. Or fall into a pit. Losing that mask is actually quite bad. So I really wanted to take 2 masks into the next area. Thankfully it's perfectly doable with 1. Just a little riskier, like... Round was going so well in the beginning, I'm just choking it all out. Choking it now. See, the paths we have to move on get a little more narrower. The enemies get a little scarier. I'm just... nerves are slightly getting to me.
Would you like an update on the second Great Yoshi War to alleviate your nerves?
Go right ahead, because I have a lot to explain this next boss fight in about 20 seconds. How's the Yoshi War?
All right, so Fiend donated another $5 and said that the site crashed and that I can't read the donations. So I'll get that back up and then get back to you.
Alright, so for this boss fight, again, as I said, we don't like doing boss fights the intended way. So we just skip everything. He's actually invincible during that state. I'll just bounce off of him. This last one though, his platform's a little shorter, so this is what I needed that mask for. Yay, I got the bug, where I'm just floating in with this body slam, or slam. Alright, we now have the Death Tornado Spin, which, because we have the Death Tornado Spin, we can no longer do the Mock Tornado. But, with the Mock Tornado, we get a new movement tech. With the Death Tornado, we have the new movement tech, Mock Tornado. So again, we're just still spinning on the ground super fast. And now that we went through like the whole beginning half of the game, you know, like 2 hard levels, a boss fight that can kill your run easily, we had the longest, most boring level in the run, which kind of is a nice little break before you get to the actual really hard, you want to hurt yourself stuff. So if the site's back up, yeah, about 2 minutes.
Perfect. I did indeed get it back working again. So Fiend donated another $5 and said red team rules, which brought the red Yoshi up to the top again. But then Kiret64 donated 5 for Sane again, which brought it back to $1 more. And then Dixon didn't say anything, but put another $15 towards Cyan, which means that it is now $16 up on top of red.
Good job, guys. Good job. I'm proud of you all. Now, how about getting the yellow Yoshi up there?
For reference, Cyan is at 86, red is at 70, yellow is at 50, pink is at 20, green is at 11, and everyone hates blue.
I said Cyan is my second choice. I was hoping the blue would make it, guys, but I'm okay with Cyan. It's close enough to blue.
Donations have not been going to Runner's Choice.
That's fine. As long as, you know, they're donating. That's what matters, right? Which... Also, the crystals in these... I did not mention this in the previous level, but the crystals in these jet ski levels are horrible. The hitboxes on them are really, really tiny. We actually have people with clips and highlights of straight going through the crystal and not picking it up. It's like, I mean, they are 100% just going through it and not picking it up. Do a barrel roll. Alright, and now we're heading into Sphinxinator. Thankfully, Sphinxinator doesn't matter too much. It's about the same speed with or without 3 mass more. And Coco, we don't like you, so please leave us now. Go back to Crash. And you guys will be able to see the Mock Tornado movement in action since we no longer have the landing slide spin. Again, like usual in all the other levels, trying to get very specific cycles. I'm trying for an early door cycle up here, which I almost died. Not this door, it's the door after this one. Thankfully, also with the PC version and the update that they made when they released all these in the DLC, it actually made that cycle so much easier than what it used to be in the past. Now, it is possible to immediately jump from this platform to this next one, doing the a glitch high into a glitch high, glitch double jump into a death tornado spin. Yep. We have no way to shorten that. We just don't call it anything. It is what it is. But yeah, it's like by doing the glitch high, glitch double jump, death tornado spin, you're able to go from platform to platform without having to wait for it to ride around. I said I just waited a little bit on that first one to play it a little safe. Now Tomb Raider here. Again, casually, probably the hardest level casually for most players. Speedrun, it's not too bad. You just gotta try and wait on cycles. Current world record holder J Hobbs, he actually found a way to make this level even 7 seconds faster. I'm not even going to attempt it. It's ridiculously crazy, and I will never go for it in a run. It's that insane. Him and I have been trading the record off quite a bit. I've held it personally the longest out of it, but you know, he can keep the record. I just don't really want to grind this down anymore because certain levels, and it should be fine. But yeah, I said he found a way to make this level even faster, and it's insane. I would say go watch this level of his run, specifically this level. Also, that spot right there that I just went through right before this crystal, it can just randomly drop you into the floor. Not always, just sometimes. There's just sometimes no floor there, and you'll just die randomly. Which he has to do for the way he did this level faster involves doing a mock tornado through that section. And I'm not willing to even attempt that. But I'm willing to do something crazy like that. Don't ever try that, please. I basically caught the edge of that, the push block right there. Right at the edge as I was going back into the wall to jump off of it. And this is my worst level of my PB, Future Frenzy. There's a cycle in the beginning that just by making this early cycle saves 2 seconds, then it sets up cycles later in the run that can save about 5 seconds. A little behind, but we might be fine. Alright, we made the early cycle. I said if you hesitate at all, you will get hit. I actually switched to D-pad for this 2D section now. I just find it easier and more consistent. The only time in the run I actually use D-pad. Okay, that's not what I was trying to do, but... And those little sections right there, that little cut in where you turn towards the screen, and I was a little behind on the cycle, otherwise I would have made that without having to do the riskier jump. I said, yeah. I'll just mention again when we get to another section like that in a future level. Actually, there's one right here. Yeah. Because of little sections like this right there, it's the one reason I prefer D-pad in the level. It's just more consistent to do it with D-pad than it is analog. And I just golded by 2 seconds. Awesome. As I said, that's my worst level in my run. My worst level in general. That's it. This is our first plane level of the run. There's 2. I will let you go ahead and read any donations because I got another very crazy thing happening after this.
All right, perfect. We have a couple here. First of all, an update on the Yoshi War, of course. Keg, hope I said that right, donated $35 and didn't say anything, but he donated that to the incentive for the Splatoon with the dance pad, which I'm still hoping we get to. That brings that up to $50 towards that goal. And then Left Side Worldwide donated $1 and says, in all caps, of course, Blue Squad all up in this. We gon' take over this stream. Lego.
All right, and now for me to explain this tech. There will not be any technical difficulties. I will say that now. It is actually this trick is easy on the other versions in comparison. It's only in the PC version it does this. So I'm saying there will be no technical difficulties in a second. Alright, we're good now. We made it. So basically what I'm doing there is going into the menu. I'm opening up my save and quit my save load menu to change the state where the game thinks I don't have Coco again so she can walk out of bounds. I am walking through that wall right there, switching back to Crash, jumping onto the side of the ledge while I'm out of bounds, but he can't go in bounds, so I have to switch back to Coco. But you have to be very careful of this because if Coco falls out of bounds, you soft lock. And it's very easy. If you take one step too far in any direction, you're out of bounds and you soft lock. And you have to do this all while your screen is and then you have to go up the path and enter a level while you can't see anything with a black screen. Again, PC version's the only version that goes to black screen. We don't know why. All the other versions you can still see what you're doing. But yeah, that was the last of the plane levels. They're both back to back basically. That's the last time we see Coco. So say goodbye to Coco. Bye people! Let the Road to Yoshi burn. Blue Yoshi all the way. And Cyan, his brother.
Do I have time to give an update on that? Because things are real spicy.
Go right ahead.
Alrighty, so Duck Life Pro 44 donated $5 and said, "Red team, best team, rah!" So that was obviously towards red. And RVD vs. the World donated another $10 and just said red. That puts Cyan at $86 and red at $85.
How about our good old buddy Blue?
$1.
At least he's not at 0 anymore. I thank you, whoever did that $1. Alright, here with the 3 mouse form, I'm trying to get through this section as fast as I can, doing mock tornadoes, cutting a few short because the platform's a little shorter, just to make it through that door cycle right there. Now this door cycle right here is basically like a tripwire. It automatically activates when you get to a certain point in that room. Sometimes this enemy is there, sometimes he's not. So he just like randomly despawns a few times. I don't know why. He just isn't there occasionally. Overall, I'm very happy with how this run's going outside of high time earlier. That level sucks. And this is the last future level of the run. And the level after this one is probably the most hated level between all runners. Not this one, the next one. Its name is Flaming Passion. We call it Flaming something else. Not allowed to say it on this right now. I personally just call it Chipotle in reference to that. That should give you an idea of what we call it. Again, we're going into a 2D section, so I'm using D-pad here as well. Now I'm just trying to avoid enemies, go as fast as I can. Pretty much the summary of this game. So the farther you get into the run, the less there actually is to explain. And I got hit there. Not really a big deal. The masks are more for safety now. I don't actually have any more 3 mask forms in the run I can go for, because we have all the masks that are left. There's a laser cycle here, but if you're consistent in the level, you can just start up a death tornado, then you just go through it no problem. This guy right here, we're just going to ignore him. Now this is up to Literal Grill, but I can attempt to show off the bonus level after this. I will not be able to 100% the bonus level, so I'll just go through it any percent style because I don't have all the power-ups required to do it because I skip certain bosses. Because I am making pretty good on the time, I believe. So it'll only take like 2 minutes to show it off. There is a chance of the game crashing just by me entering the level, but that's why I actually removed that donation incentive, because of the ability of the game crashing. Actually, I do need to focus a little bit because this is very strict movement I have to do. So I'm actually ahead on the cycle, so I don't have to worry about that enemy. There we go. Actually went amazingly well. Oh, you guys actually found a fix for that crash. That's very good news. I've not heard about that. Alright, we're for the last level of the run before the final boss. It's another motorcycle level. This one is free. Fall into as many holes as you want. Crash into as many cop cars as you want. It is the easiest casualty to win first place in. Not saying it's possible to lose, but it's hard to. Said if you have any more donations, got about another minute and a half of me just driving through this level.
All right. Well, the Yoshi war keeps heating up. Fiend donated another $15 and says, "All in, double barrel, keep the red alive." But to counter that, Joe Eigel donated another $15 as well, saying, "Hey, Cyan is the best team. I don't know if you know. Meaning that Cyan is still $1 ahead of Red.
Keep it up, guys. Don't let that evil red win. I mean, who likes red anyway? It's such an ugly color.
I like Red.
I just smashed in a cop car because of that. I'm like, wait, really? I just actually dropped my controller for a second because, like, how can you like red? That cop car smash was for you. Also, for people who wanted CTR remastered, here you go. Unfortunately, it's only one player, and he raced against some really ugly scientist assistants of Cortex who are really bad at driving. Alright, if I can carry this or not depends on if I was good on the movement. I was afraid of that cop car, I could have hit it. Started my turn a little too late. Otherwise, you could carry that wheelie all the way to right here. Which I want to try and go for a little bit of a glitch right here. Didn't get it. If you cut the edge of that ramp and that speed pad, it'll like to start the animation of going up, then immediately slam you on the ground right after the hole, and it'll lock the camera behind you, like in a weird position, as if you're going up the ramp still. Alright, now for the final boss fight. It is there's an RNG element to it based on where he throws the mines. But hopefully he throws them very nice. Other than that, the movement between the Uka and Aku fighting, and if you hit any of them, you do die. Cortex shoots these thingies at you, you'll die. The mine explosions the hitboxes for them are much larger than what they appear. Get tapped by any of them, you die. This fight likes to try to kill you, and that is a very, 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 very ugly mine setup there. And I like to risk every single run on my own. Oh, I gotta do a little bit of a start right here, because this is the true Roach Slam for everyone right now. That is the true Roach Slam. Any accidental body slam counts, but that is the true one and only one. I just like to mess around now. And go ahead and read donations for this last fight. I'm just kind of waiting. If you have anything else for the Great Yoshi War.
Of course we do. It is back and forth at this point. Fiend donated another $2 and says, not $1 anymore. But then Curette bounced back with another $2 and said, Cyan best team. So we are still $1 away with Cyan in the lead.
Also, for Cortex right here, when you hit him in the hole, where he spawns the power-up is random. Hopefully he spawns it closer to you. And time will be right now.
Defeated again. This is not fair. Maybe I should retire to a nice big beach with a nice big drink and a woman with nice big bags of ice for my head.
I had to wait for that line. 4807, real time. I'm really happy with that. 2 minutes under estimate.
Yeah, it was a great run.
Game time, though, which is how we compare it, was a 4306, with high time being most of that mistakes. So I'm happy with how that went overall. I mean, 4306 is really solid. That actually is just above third place time-wise. But said Literal Grill, if you want me to show off the bonus level again, I won't be able to 100% it, but I can just fly through it. It'll take like a minute and a half, 2 minutes if that. No.
You know what? Go for it, and I'll use this time to try to set up the next run.
Sounds good. I'm only doing any % run through with this, guys. I've not practiced this at all, so you're going to be doing this with me. Because I do not have the needed power-ups to be able to 100% this. Time for Future Tense, the DLC level.
The ability to do so.
So I want to be trying to go as fast as I can. As I
Guess they're just gonna tell us what
That's right, I have
won.
running shoes now. Woohoo! I've never had.
I'd say we should explain a little bit about the run before we start,
Running
because
shoes,
it's just gonna be
yeah,
intense, like, right?
I would
Like,
say explain the 3 main mechanics, like swallow canceling, dust like ground pounds, and like tongue jumping, because we'll be doing that instantly as we go. So
I want to do the tongue jump.
Craft, if I remember correctly, on day 1. Because
Interesting.
it's a different format. I think he played Swordcraft instead.
A little more, I guess. Okay, yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I believe his lineup was Portalcraft, Swordcraft. No, wait a minute. Maybe it was Forestcraft. Maybe it was 3 aggro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe you're just playing Forest all the time. Yeah.
Maybe he's playing Spell Boost.
Yeah,
We don't- who knows, yeah.
Spell Boost. No, I don't think he was playing Spell Boost. Crumsy's not a Spell Boost man.
No, he's not.
He likes to hit face all the time, not just on turn 9.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So as we wait to get...
Intentional damage reduced, I swear. I have not practiced that. Let's just be going for this. So, there we go. That's the bonus level. Any % style. Anyway, that is Crash Bandicoot.
Sweet.
And
Thank you so much.
Just to do it, I'm going to crash the game just to finish it, because why not? What can go wrong if you mess up this clip? Coco, don't go that way! Ha, I didn't crash it. Tricked you guys. It just, because I switched to crash right as it was falling, it hit the game's loading trigger for the future tense, and because I was crash, it recognized it for that and had me load into it.
All right. Well, while we get the next run set up, I just